And hello race fans, and welcome here to the Bristol Motor Speedway. We are getting things set up here for race. This is a blooper and a half. And hello race fans, and welcome to the Bristol Motor Speedway, where we're getting ready to set the field for race number 5 on the schedule. And it's this qualifying race is going to be 25 laps, so these drivers are not going to have a whole lot of time to make the moves that they need to make. And qualifying here is going to be done a little bit differently. I'll explain more once we get to that point. Coming around third turn 4, pace car is off, and the green flag is out. Osman Hamid leads him down. John Arndt on the outside, or not John Arndt, sorry, Salman Oskin on the outside. We are underway. Hamid with the advantage. Johnny Gardner moves up into second. Oskin third, and then fourth is Evan Hunter. Andrew Ramsey is fifth right now, and then sixth is Marty Johnson, now under fire from Caleb Hoffman. Hoffman takes over that position. And these drivers are going blazing fast. And yeah, you can see it right there. 14-second lap times for these drivers. Johnny Gardner has just laid down his fastest lap of the race, 14.063. That's how quick these lap times are going to be, especially in qualifying, and once we get down to race trim on Monday, should be very interesting. We do have a driver that is debuting here. Well, at least in these qualifying races. This is Vanellope von Schweetz in the number 46. Right now, not doing too hot right now, riding in the 15th position. Wyatt Walker dead last at the moment. So far, not what these two have wanted. Wyatt Walker coming off of a very good finish at Rockingham this past Monday. And now, most likely, is not going to be able to make the Cup race. Cup race for this coming Monday. The top 6 goes as follows here, and looks like everything is going to be pretty solid here, should everything hold up. You have Osman Hamid, Johnny Gardner, Salman Oskin, Evan Hunter, Andrew Ramsey, and Caleb Hoffman, who are all pretty much going to make it in should nothing else happen. Which the chances of that happening, everybody is single file at the moment. Chances of that happening are pretty slim to none. You see Travis Crampton there in the number 6. Way back here, and now Caleb Hoffman has an issue. Hoffman on pit road. Problems for the 92 machine. Oh my goodness, that is a tough break for them. This 92 team has made 3 of the last 4 races, and unfortunately, this is going to be the second race of the season that Caleb Hoffman is going to miss. So that means Daniel Bouchard moves up into the 6th position, and that final transfer spot currently belongs to him. And everything's still looking pretty solid. You can see the top side for all these drivers, or at least the middle line, is where they're going. There's Kyle Langland in the 93 riding in the 8th position. Not really where he wants to be. He's just barely on the outside looking in. And if he can get up there, he could try to make something happen. Marty Johnson, the gap between him and Bouchard is now a little over 4 tenths. 11 to go in this race. This really ain't much of a race. This is more of just follow the leader. single file parade. Kind of fearing this is what I'm kind of fearing this may be what the race looks like on Monday. I'm kind of fearing that, but then again, you never know what could happen next Monday, or this coming Monday. 10 to go, now 9 to go this time. Osman Hamid still leading. Johnny Gardner still riding in second. You have Samet Oskin still riding in third. Fourth, Evan Hunter still. Andrew Ramsey completes that top 5, and then Danny Bouchard pretty much is a done deal for him, just holding on to that final transfer spot as long as nothing else happens to him. As far as Caleb Hoffman goes, he is out of the race, a suspension issue. This is the first time that we've had a driver go out of the qualifying race due to some sort of mechanical failure. And that is actually a first time this year. 6 to go, coming to 5 to go this time around. I told you these races were going to be super quick. Samet Oskin just laid down the fastest lap of the race with a 13.613. 5 to go. And Osman Hamid pretty much has this in the bag. There really ain't much that he can do at this rate. Travis Crampton is this far, and these 3 drivers, they're definitely going to have to wait for next week, especially for Travis Crampton. He's not going to be in the car for the next 2 weeks until the next 2 weeks later. So it'll be Madison Hall driving the car at Talladega, and then the next racetrack, I can't remember where. I think Texas is where they're going to be going after Talladega. Coming to 2 laps to go. Pretty much Osman Hamid has this race won pretty much in the top 5 or top 6 is set. Coming around, white flag, 1 more lap to go. Osman Hamid pretty much, as I said before, has it in the bag. You saw the slower traffic up ahead. Hamid is not going to deal with that. Comes off turn 4 and is going to win this qualifying race. And Daniel Bouchard easily fends off Marty Johnson. Actually, he didn't really fend him off. He just rode there and gets in and takes the final transfer spot. So for Marty Johnson, Kyle Langland, Michael DeFeo, Cody Roper, as well as Josiah Munsell, Trinity Anderson, Travis Crampton, Vanellope Von Schweetz, Wyatt Walker, and for Caleb Hoffman, they will have to wait until next week. But for Travis, he'll have to wait at least until after Texas, and after 2 weeks. So that's when, after 2 weeks is when he's going to be back inside of the race car. But that's your qualifying races. When we come back, it'll be qualifying from here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Don't go away. We'll be right back. We are back here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. We're getting ready for qualifying. So here's how qualifying for the short tracks, especially starting here at Bristol, is going to work. The top half, so the results, basically it's going to be 2 groups. So it's going to be group qualifying. Group 1 is going to be the drivers that finished in the top half from the previous race. Group 2, same thing, except for it's for the bottom half. Top 6 move on to the final round. Each round, round 1, is 15 minutes. Carter Friesen first on the track. His first lap is a 14.216. Oh my goodness, the 2 most winningest drivers got together. Ben Erickson and Emmanuel Hartnett. Ericsson just pulled up on the racetrack. Hartnett with a 14.771, and that's another thing these drivers are going to have to be careful of, is just coming up on the racetrack. Henry Williams, who is our new points leader, recently almost got hit, but talking about here Henry Williams for Full Frontal Motorsports in his first season, already the points leader after Rockingham with a 13th place finish, which is what got him the points lead. And he is 6th quickest with a 14.772. Emmanuel Hartnett on top with a 13. Well, now it's Jesse Turner with a 13.881. Got some more drivers coming out onto the racetrack. Do expect this top position to kind of shuffle in and out. Hang on 1 second here. Alright, sorry about that. Apparently, we do have some activity going on outside of the booth. I'm not sure exactly what it is. But anyways, Turner and Hartnett kind of trading the position every so often. Hartnett back on top with a 13.686. There's Noah Clifton, our most recent winner. Clifton right now, not doing too hot, but better than last. 14.349. There's Andrew Ramsey in the 52. Ramsey has been gaining a lot of momentum here in this season. He's made Phoenix. He didn't make Auto Club, but he for darn sure made Rockingham, and now he's in this race. This is his third start of the season. Ramsey has always had high hopes, always confident, always willing to do what he can to perform really well, and so far, Andrew Ramsey, this kid has definitely done a good job of that. But right now, he's kind of stuck in a rut in qualifying with a 14.031, 16th quickest. Carter Frayson to the top with a 13.658. There's Emily Anderson carrying the Mountain Dew colors for this race. Right now she's 6th quickest with a 13.739. Don't you dare make jokes about that. Now she is 7th quickest, 3rd now, along with her teammate Joshua Cornish, who has now moved up inside of the top 6 with a 13.591. How about that for the 2 EGI entries? The only other one that isn't done that's currently on the outside looking in, or just barely on the cusp of that, is Elijah Gordon with a 13.697. Now he's 9th quickest. He might drop down a little bit more here. But right now, the top 6 that would move on into the final round, Daniel Bouchard has just jumped up into the 2nd position. So right now, the drivers would be Joshua Cornish, Daniel Bouchard, well now Cody Smart. He's now moved into the 2nd position with a 13.645. See if we can find Cody. There he is. So the drivers that would currently move on are Cornish, Smart, Bouchard, Friesen, Anderson, and Turner. Those would be the 6 drivers that would move on into the final round if it were to end right now. Cody Smart carrying the DeWalt colors. He's kind of had somewhat of a frustrated season, mediocre at best. But Cody Smart is very determined, very competitive. I should definitely point out, and will do anything and everything to go out and win a race, whether it be put himself in a position to win, or put his drivers in a pretty good position to win. But so far, they've actually had some pretty good finishes. Cody Smart just recently came off of a top 10 finish at Rockingham, finishing 9th. So not too bad for the Smart Motorsports team, but Cody Smart still looking for more in that number 2. Trying to get his 2nd win of his career and join that list of winners, that small list of winners that have multiple wins in the WRLA NOS Energy Cup Series. And there's one of them, Ben Erickson, on pit road in the 96. Right now 10th with a 13.683. William Brock is also on pit road. There's Audra Baranowskis. You just saw a glimpse of her. Right now, Baranowskis is 19th fastest with a 13.728. It's not too good there for the Lithuanian driver. And Baranowskis definitely looking to try to get some momentum here for this season. She definitely is doing so far throughout this year. She's definitely done a very good job. I think she's right around the top 10 in the point standings coming into this race. So Baranowskis, it's definitely been pretty quiet, but also very consistent, and has been very, very embracive of just the environment. Oh my goodness gracious! Almost took out her boss. William Brock just came back up on the racetrack and almost got hit by his teammate Baranowskis. That would have been an interesting meeting over at Full Frontal Motorsports. And a little bit of contact there between William Brock and Ben Erickson. And I bet those two are going to have a little bit of words with each other after this session. And Hyatt, a little sideways coming down pit road as he aborts. Says, I had enough. I'm coming down pit road right now. Right now, Cornish still quickest with that 13.591. Has been untouched ever since he put down his time. Audra Baranowski is now 4th quickest with a 13.649. So now Carter Friesen is on the bubble. Derek Hamill just 1/100th of a second, or at least 10 1,000ths of a second on the outside looking in. Just barely. He's right there. He just needs at least a few more tenths or a few more thousandths. Then he is in the race. Then he's in the contention to move on into the final round and battle for the front row, or at least battle for the pole for Monday's race. Emily Anderson coming down pit road in that number 46 or 66, my bad. And now Emily Anderson is on the outside looking in. Because now, I believe Ben Erickson has moved up into the 4th position. Just 2 1,000ths of a second slower than this guy, Daniel Bouchard. Don't you dare make jokes about 6th place. Anderson coming in, getting some tires put on this bad boy. This nice looking Mountain Dew Chevrolet, and gonna try to go back out and maybe collect some data, try to get some data from her crew chief and also just the spotter and where she's running on the racetrack. It's very important here that you know exactly where you're running. You see a lot of drivers running the middle line through the corners. Just likewise here with the number 87 of Joshua Cornish and also the 2 of Cody Smart. Smart right in the tire tracks. Right in the tire tracks of this number 87. Coming down to it. Smart as Cornish aborts, comes to pit road, and Anderson comes out onto the racetrack, or coming back out. Oh, but she picked a bad time to do it, because that's this part of the track arguably is the most crowded because you have so many cars lined up behind you. And once you pull up, you kind of slow them down. And that's definitely not good. Not too good of a thing, because that will hurt other drivers' lap times. Coming up on 5 minutes to go here. And there is some talk over in the WRLA tower that they may shorten group number 2's time. They may shorten it, but that's what I'm getting. That's the kind of info that I'm getting here. They may shorten group number 2, just probably down by 5 minutes. We'll get confirmation at the end of group number 1's session. Andrew Ramsey jumps up to the top with up to 2nd with a 13.616. Not too bad for Andrew Ramsey. This number 52. So now that means Audra Baranowskis is on the bubble. Emily Anderson on the outside looking in. So now let's see if we can find Emily Anderson. There she is, back on pit road. Probably something wrong with this car. Maybe it's just a little bit off. But right now, Baranowskis is in a pretty good position to where she can move on into the final round. Right now, just sitting on pit road, letting the engine cool down, fires it back up, and she is down and away. And she will get back out on track to make some laps. Try to put down a faster lap time if she can. Annie Thomas in this 23. Right now 15th with a, well now 16th with a 13.686. And I believe if another driver's moved up into the top 6, that is Alex Hawkins in the 9. A 13.648. Noah Clifton has moved up inside of the top 3. 13.644 for him. So that means Hawkins is on the outside looking in. Well, on the bubble, that is. And Erickson is on the outside looking in. There's Noah Clifton, our previous winner. Third quickest. 1/1000th of a second faster than Cody Smart. 2/1000ths of a second faster than Daniel Bouchard. That goes to show you, at least from third down to basically third on down, that shows you how competitive these drivers really are. They're doing everything that they can to get themselves inside of this top 6 to where they can go on and battle for the pole. And the final round will be 5 minutes. So those drivers are really not going to have a ton of time. They're not going to have a lot of time to put down the best lap time that they can. But they will go out and they will for darn sure try. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining. And Joshua Cornish's time has been untouched ever since he put down that 13.591. And he is in really good position to move on into the final round. Same goes for Andrew Ramsey. Ramsey has definitely done a nice job qualifying, getting himself inside of the top 6. And for 7th on down, that is where they're going to qualify for rows 4 on back. So that will be for the whole entire inside line. And then group number 2 will be determining the outside line. Coming up on 1 minute. 1 minute remaining. And another 5 seconds. Cody Smart 4th still with that 13.645. Hawkins just hoping and praying that he can move on inside. Move on to the final round. And if that's the case, that would be a big hallelujah for this number 19 of Alex Hawkins, the Canadian 500 winner. That is his only win to the WRLA NOS Energy Cup resume. Hawkins looking to add more this year, driving this number 9 car. The original sponsor was Mellow Yellow, still on the car, but Hawkins definitely, with Mobile One and Menards, definitely wants to pull something off here. 20 seconds remaining. It looks like everything, as far as inside of the top 6, is going pretty solid here. And Cornish, should nothing else happen, will move on. Another 20 seconds has been added, so these drivers have enough time to put down one more lap. One more lap that could definitely be the lap that will get them inside of the top 6. And times are finalized, so your top 6 drivers that will move on into the final round: Cornish, Ramsey, Clifton, Smart, Bouchard, and Hawkins. Hawkins has definitely got to be breathing a sigh of relief. Just barely holding on to that final transfer spot to get into the final round of pole qualifying. Well, that is going to do it for group number 1. Group 2 coming your way next. We are back, folks, and we're going to get things started for group number 2, and I did get confirmation that this group will have 10 minutes to go out and lay down their best qualifying lap. The first driver out on the racetrack is the points leader, or not right now second in points now, runner-up, is Nathan Stapleton for 3 races only. Monster Energy is going to be on the hood of this number 97. Stapleton has had himself a pretty good, really good start to the season. All 4 of the NS Racing cars finished inside of the top 15. And then on Auto Club, Stapleton won after starting on the pole. And now looking to add on just a little bit more here at Bristol. 13.912 for this number 97. And then second car coming out on the racetrack is another Nathan Orman. And let me tell you, Orman's just, like I said, throughout these last few weeks, he's just had a very horrible season. At least this is only the early part of the year. Dead last in the Daytona 500, and then 2 7th place finishes at Fontana and Rockingham. The best finish that he's had this year was a 12th place finish at Phoenix. And now Orman definitely looking to bounce back here. He is 3rd to last in the points standings right now, and that is not where Orman wants to be at all. Orman, just like Cody Smart, wants to go out and he wants to win just as bad as anybody else does. And a win here at Bristol for Orman especially would help him tremendously throughout this season. It would help. Still trying to get that first career victory is the number 24 of Nathan Orman. And definitely hopes that nothing bad happens to him this coming Monday at Bristol. But then again, like I said, it's Bristol. Anything can happen here at Bristol. It's Bristol, baby. Stapleton's still on top. Well, now it is his teammate Zachary Fitzwater with a 13.691. That is 1/10 slower. 1/10 slower than Joshua Cornish. He had a 13.591. But now Fitzy is on top with a 13.691. 3 minutes have already gone by here in this session. There are some drivers that took that extreme high line almost right up against the wall. Fitzy was one of those drivers that took that line through 3 and 4. And he takes the middle line, falls right into the tire tracks of Nathan Orman. Al Lagacy up to 5th, 13.802. Stephen Colon, 13.757, up to 4th. Driver holding on to the final spot is now Sebastian Cuculon with a 13.811. Bonsinger now to 3rd, 13.717. That's, well, Betty Johnson at the top, 13.680. For the number 83 of Betty Johnson, trying to get on the front row for the 2nd race in a row and try to get her first pole of the year. Stephen Colon, 13.649. Driver holding on to that spot is Ryan Gondola with a, well, not anymore. It's Danny Bouchard as Jack Lagacy goes to the top, 13.625. Bouchard now goes to the top, 13.611. This top position is absolutely changing like crazy. Nathan Orman, 13.617. If Orman can actually stay inside of this group of the top 6, that would be, and possibly get up there and win the pole in the final round, should he make it in, that would be a huge confidence booster for this number 24 team of Nathan Orman and Nathan Orman Motorsports as an entirety. Sebastian Cuculon, Orman's teammate, is right now 9th with a 13.673. Both Orman Motorsports cars this past Monday just did not have the best of runs, and unfortunately, Kukulon didn't get the best finish. Neither did Nathan Orman, as I said before, with that 37th place finish. But Orman looking to change that here at Bristol. And so far, he's almost got step number 1 completed. Step 2 is probably going to be just winning the pole. Step 3, go out and just stay out of trouble. And step 4, if you're in a position to win, go out there and try to win the race. That pretty much would be the agenda for this team, this 24 team, and also for the 1 team of Kukulon. And if they can do that, that would actually be very huge for the Nathan Orman Motorsports camp. So your top 6 that would move on into the final round and join the first group of drivers: Bouchard, Orman, Taylor, Lagasse, Russell, and Gardner. And now Sebastian Kukulon has jumped up to third, 13.619 for the GameStop machine. So now it is Russell, Christian Russell on the outside looking in. Well, on the bubble, sorry. And it's Johnny Gardner on the outside looking in. Less than 3.5 minutes remaining. Nathan Stapleton is now 11th quickest, 13.659. And right now Stapleton not doing too hot here in this qualifying session, but he's getting there slowly but surely. Got to keep knocking down those lap times. Mark Grant now to second, tied with Daniel Bouchard. Both with a 13.611. That's a tie. So now it is Jack Lagasse holding on to that final spot. Christian Russell just 3/1000ths of a second out of the final round. And so far, with 2.5 minutes remaining, all the times are looking pretty solid right now. But you never know. Somebody may get up there and try to put down a good lap time. Try to steal it away. The final transfer spot, or any other spot inside the top 6, that is. But for right now, everything is looking pretty solid inside of the top 6. The difference between the first place car and the 5th place car, 8/1000ths of a second. Yeah, 8/1000ths of a second. As far as 1st and 2nd, and as well as 4th and 5th go, they probably have to be separated by a few millionths. That's just a guess, but if only NR 2003 were to be able to track millionths of a second, that would be pretty cool. Alex Bonsignor on pit road right now with a 13.655. Not too hot here for this number 22 of Alex Bonsignor. And coming around 1 minute mark. Flagman displaying the 1 minute mark here in this session. We pretty much know who's going to be able to move on inside of the top 6 and join the other 6 drivers for the final round here in this qualifying session. And everything looking pretty stable right now for Daniel Bouchard, Mark Grant, Orman, Kukulon, Taylor, Lagasse. Pretty solid for right now. 30 seconds remaining. Al Lagasse has moved up into 7th. Just 1/1000th off of Jack Lagasse. He'll need to get at least... Well, now Ryan Gundello is tied with Jack Lagasse, but still on the outside looking in. Let's see what happens here. Coming off of 4. Not good enough. Did not improve on that lap time, so he has at least 20 more seconds to try to get inside. Try to get inside of the top 6. And the times are going to be finalized, so the drivers that will move on into the final round: Bouchard, Grant, Orman, Cucalon, Taylor, and Jack Lagasse. My goodness gracious, this is gonna be one interesting battle for the pole position here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and it's gonna be fun. Only 5 minutes to figure out who will win the pole for this race here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Don't go away. We'll be right back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and this is it. We're going to figure out who wins the pole here for this coming Monday's race right here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. And while I was getting ready for this final round, I did make a little oopsie. Apparently, Daniel Bouchard was in both rounds of group qualifying, so that meant I had to find a 7th place driver, and Al Lagasse joins the fight for the pole position. Coming around, Nathan Orman's first lap, 14.660. He'll be able to improve that coming around this time by. This would be a huge confidence booster for Nathan Orman if he were to win the pole for this race. A 14.203. He's getting there slowly but surely. Some other drivers are making their way out on the racetrack. Orman's time, 13.858. He's broken into the 13-second bracket. Noah Clifton, same there, 13.949 for the number 84 machine. Now the 38, Jack Lagasse on the board. Same for the 85 of Zachary Taylor. I remember Taylor had a big, nasty, wild ride last Monday at Rockingham, thanks to Nathan Orman. But Taylor is okay, and he is still going strong. Same can go for the number 24 from Nathan Orman, who plowed right into the back of Zachary Taylor. But he's still going strong as well. And now, less than 3 minutes to go. And those are the two drivers that are on the front row. Orman and Taylor. Now Clifton right back at it. Same for Taylor. The second position being traded just like if it were a hot potato. Cody Smart now second quickest with a 13.778. Taylor right back on top with a 13.720. Cody Smart on pit road. Oh my, this is getting good here. Noah Clifton went up to the top, 13.681. Mark Grant, 13.697. But now, Al Lagasse up to second. Taylor up on top, 13.639. Where is the number 85? There he is. How would it be from going for a wild ride at Rockingham to winning the pole for Zachary Taylor? That would be something if he were to win the pole here. Coming up on 90 seconds remaining. Jack Lagasse to the top to second with a 13. You know what it is. 90 seconds to go. Nathan Orman back on top with a 13.598. Taylor back on top now with a 13.566. That's faster than what Joshua Cornish put down in round one in his group. Oh my goodness, things are getting pretty tight here for this pole position. Taylor coming down on Taylor down on the pit area. 1 minute remaining. Things are getting good here with less than a minute to go. Right now, it is still Taylor and Orman on the front row. And like I said, it would just be perfectly ironic. The two drivers that ended up getting together with a handful of laps to go at Rockingham, with Orman plowing right into the back of Zachary Taylor to almost being on the front row. But his teammate, Sebastian Coquelin, went up to second, 13.593. And this would be something. This would be something for Sebastian Coquelin. This would be a huge confidence booster for both Orman Motorsports cars. They are second and third right now. Coming up with 20 seconds remaining. So these drivers will have enough time for one more lap. And that, I think that's going to do it. I think it's going to do it. And it will. So Zachary Taylor goes from crashing to winning the pole here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Coquelin will line up alongside. It'll be Orman, Cornish, Grant, Lagasse, Ramsey, Lagasse, Clifton, and Alex Hawkins that will lead the rest of the field to the green flag this coming Monday here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Shut up, official. Well, that's going to do it here for qualifying here at Bristol. Thank you guys a lot for watching. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you have not considered subscribing yet, I recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future, especially with 11 o'clock coming out here pretty soon. Episode 6, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully you guys can tune in for that. But until then, I'm Elijah Leonard from the Leonard Station signing out, and we'll see you guys later.